Hi, this is Tim Stapleton from GT Automotive in South Jordan, Utah. I'd like to talk about a few things to remember about winter driving today. We're just approaching the snowy season here, and in fact, we've had a really a wet and snowy October, and we may even break the all-time records. So, anyway, ABS brakes. It stands for anti-lock braking system, and most cars on the road today have it. And in fact, all the cars sold since 2013 are mandated to have ABS brakes. And they really do help. That's why they mandated them. And especially in the ice and snow, the ABS will allow you to stop as fast as possible for the conditions you're driving in. But those conditions are real critical as far as the tires and whether there's snow and ice and that sort of thing. And we'll talk about that in just a minute. So your ABS brakes are capable of pulsing about 15 times a second. You may have heard it when you've stopped before in a panic situation where you hear kind of a pounding and you can feel the brake pedal pulse. And that's normal. That's what it's supposed to do when the conditions force you to do that. If it can stop without skidding and you got good traction, then the ABS sits quietly and you don't hear anything. But if you do hear that pulsing, then you know that it's going to take a little more space for you to stop. So they're capable of pulsing the brake pedal up to 15 times a second. This allows you to stop without skidding or sliding. However, your car can still only stop as fast as conditions allow. And what are those conditions? Well, if you have worn out tires trying to stop a car on ice or snow, even with ABS, it's going to take a long time to stop. You won't lose control, but you still may ram into the car in front of you because you don't stop in time. The ABS will allow you to steer while you're stopping, but that's hard to do when you're in traffic and there's nowhere else to go. And if you have touring tires on your car, those that are made for summer driving, they'll ride real smooth and they'll give your car a little bit better gas mileage, but they won't work well in winter driving conditions. If you're going to drive on the ice or the snow, you need winter tires. And winter rated tires are made from a softer rubber that won't get hard and stiff from the cold. They also have a more aggressive tread pattern on them, so they grip the ice and snow better. Look for the snowflake on the tire. That tells you that it's a winter tire. If you have all-season tires and they have good tread on them, they'll work pretty well in winter, but not as well as winter-rated tires would. So here's a tip that I use myself when I drive in snowy or icy conditions. When I first start out, if I'm in the neighborhood or if I'm on a smaller street and there aren't any cars around, then I'll tap on the brakes pretty aggressively just to see what the car does. And if it doesn't stop well, you hear the pounding of the ABS, and sometimes you'll still go into a little bit of a slide because of the conditions. If you're on bald tires or if you have tires that aren't really made for winter, then that can happen. But I want to know how fast the car is going to stop and whether or not I need to really slow down or whether I'm okay going the speed I'm going. And that'll tell you in a hurry whether you can do that or not. Now, don't do it going 50 miles an hour, but if it's safe, try doing it about 15 or 20. And if your ABS brakes start pulsing, then you know to leave plenty of space between you and the car in front of you when you get out on the highway or on a busy road. And it's good to know before you have to stop quickly what the conditions really are. I've made a habit out of doing this, and it served me well. I want to know how much room I need to stop before I get into a panic situation. Anyway, that's just a tip I use, and that's a little explanation of winter driving and ABS brakes. And thank you for listening. We appreciate it. And again, this is Tim from GT Automotive in South Jordan, Utah.